to something to talk about, and welcome back to one of my remakes. That means this is coming out Tuesday, and it's covering a character I covered like 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah, 2, almost 3. Let's go with that. Nothing 2. Whatever. You guys know what's going on here. We're covering Savage Sam Tarly again. So yeah, this is my remake of this. And yeah, I don't need to say it every time, but I'm going back and covering the first, I want to say, it's like 15 of my videos and just kind of giving it a more polished treatment, doing a lot more research this time, kind of doing it justice. Unlike when I first started, I was giving a lot less information, and now I'm giving a lot more. So they're a lot longer now. All right, so if you don't know what's going on here, this is what's going on. Spoilers possibly for the show, probably not for this show, but yeah, spoilers for the World of Ice and Fire book. That's what I got this from, and a little bit of Fire and Blood. Yeah, Fire and Blood. That's where I got this from. So yeah, Savage Sam. Let's just get into it. All right, so Samwell Tarly, not that one, was the Lord of Hornhill and the head of House Tarly during the reigns of Aenys the First, and presumably the reign of his father Aegon the First as well. Yeah, I mean, we kind of jump in right into the beginning of Aenys' reign, so we're assuming he's been Lord for longer than a week, right? Lord Samwell's rough personality earned him the reputation and the nickname Savage Sam. That's it. That's all we got for him. Not a lot for this character. Yeah, I did the remake for Ronald Aaron. This is kind of another one of those instances of me kind of covering the what word am I looking for? The 4 rebellions at the beginning of Aenys' conquest, or Aenys' reign. And yeah, like right when Aenys, I'm about to say this all, but anyways, yeah, so Ronald Aaron was up in the Vale, and his brother Jonas was one of the rebellions. This is another one down in Dorne. And I also covered this slightly when I covered Will of Will. Slightly. Will of Will was before this, but whatever. I talked about his son. House Tarly! Just a Tarly boy at the Battle of Summerhall. All right, House Tarly of Hornhill is a noble house from the Reach, one of the strongest sworn to House Tyrell. Hornhill is in the foothills of the Red Mountain. Their sigil is a striding huntsman on green. Their motto is not revealed in the books, but according to semi-canon sources, it's first in battle, which is awesome. Marcher Lords of the Dornish Marches. Yeah, they're martial lords of the Dornish Marches. The Tarleys are a family old in honor and rich in lands and strong keep. There you go. They're also keepers of a Valyrian greatsword called Heartsbane, which we'll get to. House Tarly is an old noble house of first men origin during the Age of Heroes. The Tarleys claim descent from 2 sons of Garth Greenhand, Herndon the Horn and Harlan the Hunter. They built their castle atop Hornhill and took wife a beautiful woods witch who dwelled there. Yeah, so they sharing her favors for 100 years. So 2 brothers married the same wood witch and banged her for 100 years. Gotta love history. Or not quite history. The brothers did not age so long as they had intercourse with her whenever the moon was full. Well, apparently they got over it after 100 years. I guess. I don't know. Oh, I'd rather just die. That's what they said. All right, let's get into the Second Dornish War, also known as the Vulture King, right? So, yeah, the Vulture King. So, we will eventually talk about Savage Sam, but this is pretty much an entire slide to get ready to talk about Savage Sam. Within the first year of Aenys Targaryen's reign, uprisings led by 4 rebels rose throughout the realm. The first of these occurred in the Riverlands, where a bandit outlaw known as Red Heron took over Harrenhal on the Iron Islands. A man claiming to be the priest king Lodos began to follow to gather followers in the Dornish marches. The Vulture King began to gather an army of Dornishmen who wishes to avenge the destruction visited upon Dorne during the First Dornish War. That's the one we're going to talk about. Finally, in the Vale, Lord Ronald Arryn was taken captive by his own brother, Janos Arryn. Watch my Ronald Arryn videos, but probably just the remake if you want to hear about that one. That came out 2 weeks ago. In 37 AC, the Vulture King appeared in the Red Mountains and gathered thousands of Dornishmen to his banner. Despite being denounced by Daenerys Targaryen. Yeah, so Daenerys Targaryen, the current lady or princess of Dorne, she's not a lady, princess of Dorne, claims that she didn't help at all with the Vulture King and that she denounced him, but she didn't do anything to stop him, and we're pretty sure, or a lot of people are pretty sure, that she did fund them. It was just like, hey, this is a good way to kind of stick it to the Seven Kingdoms, but we can keep our hands out of it. Well, we didn't do anything. Yeah. It's like if somebody walks up, and my friend walks up and punches you, I could be like, well, I didn't have to punch you. It's like, dude, you didn't stop him. He's your friend. I don't believe you. That's kind of what it is. But, war, way more. The Dornishmen began raiding the Dornish marches and in the Reach, taking and burning Blackhaven Castle and slicing the nose off Lord Harmon Dondarrion. Wow. Poor Harmon got his nose cut off. King Aenys didn't understand why these men would rise against him. He's just like, why are they rebels? I don't get it. The threat from the Vulture King was the most serious of the rebels, thanks to his many supporters. The Vulture King split his host, because he had a pretty big host, sending the host under the command of Walter Will, son of Will of Will. I did a remake of that video not too long ago, to besiege Stonehelm, and then the Vulture King himself led the other half to attack Night Song and Horn Hill. Right? Did it go well? We'll see. The Marcher Lords. Well, the aged Lord Orys One-Hand Baratheon led forces to smash the Will's host. The Vulture King tried to take Night Song from Lady Ellen Karen. Orys smashed the Wills with little trouble and chopped all of Walter's limbs off. Yeah, so don't worry about that other host. Orys already took care of it. So if you don't know why he chopped all of his limbs off, watch my Will of Will video. All right. The Vulture King fared a little better. His attack on Night Song failed, and he abandoned the pursuit and marched west to his own folly. He was attacked on the road by the host of Marcher Lords led by Lady Karen and the noseless and vengeful Lord Dondarrion, who followed behind him, right? So he's being chased, essentially. And then Savage Sam Tarly. We're almost done with the video, and Savage Sam finally shows up in it. He shows up in front, suddenly appears in the line in front of him with several thousand knights and archers. So despite being outnumbered 2-1 by the Dornish forces, the Marcher Lords stomped the undisciplined and poorly equipped Dornishmen. Yeah, they couldn't stand a chance. Against armored knights against the armored knights, the battle broke and the Dornishmen tossed down their weapons and ran. The Marchers rode after them and cut them down in what became known as the Vulture Hunt. Yeah, here we go. Like I said, there isn't too much Sam really in this, but I do like this. So I didn't have any of this art when this came out. I definitely didn't. I don't think I had this picture. I might have when the first video came out, but I definitely didn't have any of the stuff that came out during the Fire and Blood Big Book. I can't remember the name of it right now. Somebody's telling me, right? But yeah, that's where this art and then the Vulture King came in. But yeah, if you look closely, I'm pretty sure the dude with the weird big-nosed helmet is Savage Sam there. So that's pretty awesome. And yeah, that's our official Savage Sam artwork. I love it. All right. The Vulture Hunt itself. Savage Sam lived up to his nickname during the Vulture Hunt. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Vulture Hunt. The host is running, has marchers following it. The Dornish are running. They're being followed by marcher lords, and then Savage Sam shows up in front of them, and they pretty much just break and scatter. And the marcher lords and Savage Sam decide we don't care, and they just start cutting in, hitting them with arrows, chopping them down, and slaughtering them as they run away and retreat, which is kind of gross. All right, Savage Sam lived up to his nickname during the Vulture Hunt. It is claimed that Savage Sam's Valyrian steel sword Heartsbane was crimson from hilt to point with the blood of a dozen Dornish outlaws that he slain with it. Thousands of Dornishmen were slain as they fled. The Dornish host was defeated, and the Vulture King himself was taken alive. But then, oh no, he was tied naked between two posts by Savage Sam. The singers claim that he was torn to pieces by the very vultures that he took his name from, but in reality, the Vulture King perished of thirst and exposure, and the birds didn't descend upon him until after he was long dead. Savage Sam's killing of the Vulture King marked the end of the, quote, Second Dornish War, if you want to call this the Second Dornish War. Samwell was among those granted gold and honors and offices by the grateful King Aenys the First Targaryen. Yeah, after all four of the rebellions are put down, they kind of all show up at King's Landing, and Aenys kind of like gives everyone favors and gold and stuff, including naming his brother Hand of the King at that meeting. There you go, little tribute for you. The Lord of Hornhill was also present at the Golden Wedding in 49 AC, but we're not sure if that's the same one. We just know it's the Lord of Hornhill. There you guys go. That's all we got for Savage Sam. Rather quick video. Let's get into the final slide here. So a little bit of symbolism here. Savage Sam and Sam the Slayer. So there isn't too much here. I have heard some debate on whether or not his actions were justified. I think the hunt itself was a little war crimey. I do, with how the Dornish tossed down their weapons and their arm or their shields, and the marchers still hunted them down. That's pretty messed up. And the execution of the Vulture King itself, or himself, by Savage Sam is a little much. He could have just cut his head off or hanged him, but I feel like there was so much hatred from the First Dornish War, the actions of monsters like the Will, and also just like the Dragon's Wrath, like all this really bad blood between the Dornish and everybody else, and that the Stormlanders and Marchers were just out for blood because of all the just kind of horrificness that happened during the First Dornish War. Of course, there is a very interesting juxtaposition here between Fat Samwell Tarly. I just wanted to let you guys know which one I meant, right? Samwell the Slayer. I'm not fat shaming anybody. I'm trying me myself, all right? Just so you guys know. Not that you need me to hit my belly for you guys to know. You can tell. I'm sure his father, Randall, wanted his son to be more like Savage Sam when he named him Samwell, but instead his son was, quote, a coward. But of course, we know Samwell is way more than just a coward, and he's the frickin' Slayer. But yeah, there's definitely some juxtaposition of like, this is what a Tarly is, right? Like, this is Tarly's of Hornhill. They're the greatest soldiers. Randall Tarly, Savage Sam Tarly, and the one that we get in the main books, well, we get Randall, which I've done a video for, is Samwell, right? It's showing how he doesn't fit into the Sam Tarlys of the past. But anyways, there you guys go. Thank you for watching. That's my rather quick video for Savage Sam Tarly. The videos I covered early on, even in these remakes, I covered very small characters back then. I mean, he had like nothing on him, right? But yeah, still interesting. There you guys go. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Don't attack somebody with the name Savage Sam. Like, don't start a fight with them. And also, don't just tie somebody you dislike up between two posts. That's brutal. Be nicer. Stop doing wars. All right, peace.